You don't need a mic. I just disrespected me, I'm sorry.
Oh, also, if you hear something you like, you don't have to be quiet. You could snap. Some people go to poetry shows, and when they hear something they like, they go, Can we try that out on 3? 1, 2, 3. That felt good, huh? So feel free to do that. You can boo me off stage too, whatever you feel.
Never.
As a kid, I was wondering why I didn't feel welcome in the home of God. Maybe because I grew up on the side of town that people were afraid of. Maybe because I was surrounded by the language of Crips and Bloods, sticking to myself. One day just gonna let a young brother be. Cause people start to ask how's life these days. I say fine, but if you see me, I look older in the face. My eyes are feeling tired and my hair is turning whiter. Haven't reached the age of 30, but I'm ready to retire. Homies time to not, or they're raising their seeds. I'm kind of scared because I ain't ready for either one of those things. How can I raise a son if I'm still trying to be a better one? Blessed to say I met another day over 21. Children of immigrants raised in middle-class villages where the villains are privileged and try to gimmick the image. And every minute the spirits are speaking visions and written. Take a second to listen, you'll find the light in the distance. And the heroes are pharaohs who have been born with bows and arrows in the burrows where the window of survival's pretty narrow. Put down your chai tea unless you want that facelift. Leave it to the children and bring you back to the basics. Let me dumb it down for folks who find this difficult to follow. I'm a heavy-hearted, cold-blooded brother straight from tomorrow with the knowledge of the golden age. Raised in the golden state. Kings and queens hailing from the city of trees. You need to keep yourself in check if you think we second the best, because your biggest regret is when you second guess the children. Thinking about the life that I was living, I was young and chasing women, making some dumb decisions, but I changed my life around and now I do this for the children, and your boy ain't really ish until my mama holding millions. You can tell I got a message embedded right in my sound. I've been born to sell some hope and you could get it by the pound. People took me lightly, so I hated being brown. It took 20 runs around the sun for me to finally come around. Asian American, but different type of brown. Imagine all the stress and picking out the right crowds. Imagine guessing ways of how the days will play out, so mom and pops can imagine living in the States, so no doubt. But the image in this American dream is hard to see when you first fell tape before you met 3rd grade. Being the only kid in all of my classes living with my type of face, my parents struggled with English when they first came, and the teachers weren't the only ones to butcher my name. And by the time I reached junior high, kids kept asking why my people were the reasons that thousands are now dead. And I couldn't even explain why we wore crowns on our heads, because I barely knew myself, so I couldn't defend myself. I had to learn about my roots by my own damn self. See, the image in this American dream is just a nightmare. Thought that at any moment my front door would knock down with closed-minded eyes who would try to round us up. I was staring at the heavens thinking that my round was up. You should have seen how scared I was after 2001. What's up? Hey. How y'all feeling? Y'all good? Y'all good? All right. Nice. That was just to warm y'all up. I think I got time for like one more. Nice. I don't know which one to do. It depends. If you've heard of me before, raise your hand. All right, it's a cool amount. All right. Y'all want to hear some like witty, lyrical, cool stuff, or something really deep that's gonna get you in your feels? Both? How much time I got?
You're good, just go.
Both?
You're good.
All right, for sure.
Good.
I'll do both. All right, for sure. All right, so I turned 22 not too long ago, even though I've been looking like 21 since I was like 14. But I work with the youth. And there's this kid I work with specifically. His name is Eddie. He's 18, has long hair just like me, and goes up on stage and recites poetry just like me. And the other day he asked me, yo, Sal, how does it feel to be a man? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm 22, you're 18, you're also a man. He's like, no, you don't get it. You're an older man. How does it feel to be a man? And I told him that I'm 22 years old and I'm still trying to figure out what it means to be a man. Because all the television shows that I've stayed in the back of my brain and the PlayStation games and my eyes have played with have told me that a real man is this tough guy with a nice physique. Drives an expensive car, is married to a beautiful wife with 2 or 3 good kids, likes to drink beer on the weekends and talk about manly things. And this may be very hard to believe, but I have none of those things. I don't have the best physique in the world, but I do got a gym membership. The most expensive car I've ever driven besides my 2015 Honda Civic is my mom's 2001 Honda Accord. I don't plan on getting married anytime soon, and I don't drink beer as much. And this might not be a very manly thing to talk about, but I very much enjoy those poets who get up on stage and talk about his or her life or the poem they're going to describe next, and next thing you know, they're already in the middle of their piece, and you sit back like, shit! That poem they were talking about his or her life, or the poem they're going to describe next, is actually a part of their piece. And if you need an example of what that sounds like, or if you just haven't figured it out by now, this is exactly one of those pieces. See, I told Eddie as a kid I used to create cities. Skyscrapers were recycled bottles, bridges were stacks of books I never read, roads were paved by limited edition Hot Wheels racing tracks, mountains were clothes I never wanted to pick up, each backyard had a military base, a swimming pool, a pet dinosaur, and a universe. The universe was my bedroom. But I told Eddie as a kid it wasn't so great. I told Eddie to have flashbacks of backyard parties and kickbacks where kids will be kids. You kick them, they kick back. You throw punches, they throw back. You cut them, they cut back. But when will we ever cut back? See, poetry shows that the only place where people snap back. I've seen a fist turn into a gun. Man with too much pride to back down. He fires first and you fire back. You try to fall back, run back around the corner just to find out one of your friends has fallen on their back. Back on the ground, a friend can become a song in the background. I told Eddie that time is money and it can take some of your closest friends, these young boys, these young men, besides looking for payback with some call revenge. I told kids like Eddie that when others throw up their sets, you don't have to throw sets back. It'll only set you back, and these setbacks will never escape you because missed bullets can always call back. So come back and let's back some things up. If you give life, life gives back. You feed them, they feed back. Can't you see, Eddie? Everything in this world is trying to bring you back down, but this will bring you back up. Our young men need backup. I told Eddie that life is just a game, and every time I take a chance, I want to take the quarter back. Wake up the next morning and find out that life is just a song. And what I'll do, I'll grab the quarter, insert it back into a jukebox, and play back the song of life so I can backtrack each part of the track and figure out everything I did wrong so I can do everything that's right until there's nothing left of me. And before I put my foot forward, let me take a step back so you understand that I stand in front of my words, but everything I hear these days is just backwards. And I just want to go back in time to where skyscrapers are recycled bottles. Bridges are stacks of books I never read. Roads are paved by limited edition Hot Wheels racing tracks. Mountains are clothes I never wanted to pick up. Each backyard has a military base, a swimming pool, a pet dinosaur. And the universe is just some kid's bedroom. Thank you. Yes or no? Just tell me, it's good. Okay, what's up? All right, I'll get right into it. Sometimes I wish my soul could take a swim in the fountain of youth because my past life has been such a burden. Sometimes my spirits are seemingly searching for sanity by studying Sufi poets, and I'm reaching for ridiculous reasons to relate to these Rumi poems, and you might not know how it feels to be tested on a daily basis. Because as a man, society is quick to watch us fall, but slow to see us rise. Many have fallen to the gardens of greed, lands of lust, empires of envy, but not I. Not I, not I, not I, for I use my open eye to open eyes. Eyes at the full moon when my friends were staring at Medusa, stoned to the thought of a future. It's depressing. It's depressing to take an antidepressant knowing you're not effective as a human being. My white blood cells are molding into the molds for medications prescribed by my physician. And in my position, I lack attention. When I should be at ease, but all I need is someone to about face to ask what's wrong. See, karma works in wonderful ways. Never the hit it and quit it kind of guy, because I can't handle the tears running down my daughter's eyes. I turn down offers to turn up every weekend. I could be drinking a lot of liquor. I could be smoking a lot of weed. My life could be more exciting, but I don't want my son to end up like me. And I start to wonder, maybe everyone has been in my position, thinking about lives with your absence, not suicidal thoughts, but a life that's lifeless despite the numerous killings by life's every aspect. Hanging on every tear I drop, suffocating on every sorrow I got. I just wanna sit in my garage, let the smoke get me high, pressing my life on the pedal till death gives me a ride, or jump off a roof and think about you as I fall into my fate. Or maybe even sit in my tub and take a bath with my music on blast and just drop the radio so the sound of electricity can spark my veins. I'm not dark and insane. I'm human and inhumane to contemplate a life that's given. So taking my own isn't theft. When out is the only thing left. And before death, you're left with your last words. The mic is a weapon and I hold it towards my enemy. And I ask myself, if what I'm doing right here, right now, is my purpose in life. My name is Salvin Chahal. Thank you so much.
Let's